Hi, everyone. It's Reader's Workshop, and Miss Angela is here. So today we are going to look at a book that we looked at yesterday. Now, it's important to know that readers go back and look at a book more than once, or they may read it more than once as well. And also, it's important to know this, that not only do we return to a story, but that helps us understand the characters. So let's think. Who is Howard? Howard is the main character. That means that the story is mostly about Howard. And when you think about Howard, what do you think of? I know that Howard is a rabbit. I know that Howard is a student. I know based on the title, Howard B. Wigglebottom Learns to Listen, means that he needs to learn to listen a little bit. Maybe he doesn't follow directions. Now, is Howard the only character in this story? Let's take a look. What is a character? A character is someone in the story. Now, Howard happens to be the main character. So I'm going to put a little star by Howard, a big star, or maybe I could even circle him. Now, we have other characters in this story. We have his friends. We have this little friend and this little friend. Here's another friend. Oh, goodness, do you remember what Howard did to her? She was trying to help, and he got the yo-yo tangled all on her nose. Rereading a story is important also so that you can learn more. Usually when I read a story more than once, I notice things I missed before. And of course, here is another character. So showing here, it's important to take a look at the characters that are in a book. So today when you read on your own, that is what I would like you to do. I would like you to think about how to go back and reread a book. So today we are going to reread Howard B. Wigglebottom, but I want you to also think about other books. We've read The Kissing Hand, and we've gone back and talked about it. And the book that we read just recently, That's What a Friend Is, I think might be a good one to go back to as well, to take a look at what friends can do for each other. So let's read Howard B. Wigglebottom again today. And let's notice more than just Howard. Let's see how the other characters in this story are important. Howard B. Wigglebottom learns to listen. Excuse me. There we go. Meet Howard B. Wigglebottom. Howard is always in trouble at school because, well, Howard just doesn't listen. During story time, instead of quietly listening, Howard bounces around the room. So we're learning about Howard, aren't we? But Howard doesn't listen. His teacher says, Howard B. Wigglebottom, please sit down, be quiet, and listen, and take a look. Here are more characters in the story. Now, Howard, being the main character, is who the story is mostly about. However, the other characters are very important. His teacher is important because she is helping with the reminders or the warnings, as well as his friends. Now, not all of the characters that you see in a book are going to talk or participate. Sometimes they are just there, but it is important to notice the drawings, the illustrations when you're reading a book. His teacher says, Howard B. Wigglebottom, you are bouncing too close to the fan. Now her eyes look a little angry. However, I know that as a teacher, she's probably very concerned. She cares about Howard, just like your teachers care about you. But Howard doesn't listen. It's because they don't want something like this to happen to you. At lunchtime, his friends try to warn him, Hey, Howard, watch your step. So here's not just Howard, but some friends over here trying to be helpful. They're giving a helping hand, but Howard doesn't listen. They don't want him to get hurt. Do you remember this page from yesterday? What's going on up here? His friend is talking, and all he hears is blah, 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 when in fact she wants to help him. After lunch, Howard's friend tries to tell him something important, but Howard doesn't listen. And this is the character that I remember the most. You might choose a different one to remember. On the playground, Howard's teammates try to help him. Keep your eye on the ball, they say. Now, can we see his teammates? No, but it looks like he's playing a game of baseball. I can tell because I see a ball right here that looks like a baseball. He's wearing a baseball mitt or glove, which you're supposed to use in baseball to catch the ball. And also this hat here, it's a baseball hat, and sometimes they have something called a batting helmet, which is a hard hat, just in case the ball comes at you. And boink, Howard doesn't listen, and he gets hurt. In the art room, the teacher reminds the class, kids, try to keep the paint on your paper. Why does the teacher want the paint on the paper? I know I would like the paint on the paper rather than on the tables or on your clothing or on your skin. But Howard doesn't listen, so the teacher asks him to take a break. The words on this page say time out, but I'm choosing the words take a break. That's what we use at Como Park Elementary School. So he feels sad. Howard does not like being alone and in trouble. He thinks and thinks about his day. Howard makes up his mind from that moment on. He will try very hard to be the best listener that he can. And if you notice, he is looking and seeing in his thoughts his friends when they were trying to help him. Those are the other characters. The next day, Howard does listen during story time. And this friend looks surprised that he's listening, or maybe he's turning and talking to a friend. But Howard is being an excellent role model. He's a good example of what to do. He waits for his turn to talk and then asks questions about the story. Howard gets a #1 listener star because Howard is really listening. While walking home, Howard uses both his eyes and ears to help stay safe. Howard is really listening. Now, notice this character. This one is important because it helps us understand what Howard is doing. He needs to wait to cross the street, and this bear is helping him. When Howard gets home, he listens to his mother. Please hang up your backpack and clean up your room now. Howard is really listening. Awesome ears, Howard. So Howard gets extra time to play and have fun. That is very true at school. If you work first, then you can play later. Just like you have your active learning on your iPad to give you ideas of what you can do in between your work. Time for a bedtime story. Please brush your teeth first, Howard. So Howard B. Wigglebottom is really listening. Almost all of the time. And that's the end. So today when you are reading a book, I want you to first take a look at the characters in the story and see how that can help you understand the story better. And second, if you would like to, choose a book that you have read before or go back and watch one of our videos. Have a great day. I will see you tomorrow.